Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, at various places on the internet. It's 10:47 a.m. according to computer clock on Monday, October 7, 2013, and I just want to announce a new short story collection that I've compiled. There's no new material in it. I'm just compiling the first two stories from my Destined series and the first two stories from my Vampire Killer series. It's called Action Girls Collection number 1, and that's going to be a theme basically. It's going to be stories that focus on action stories with female characters. Becoming a hero stories are not included because, one, it's already been collected into a complete collection, and two, there's really no action in that series. But yeah, the first two stories of Destined and Vampire Killer. Destined is an ensemble series. It's like fantasy. Well, yeah, kind of. It's got fantasy in there. It's got sci-fi. The title character, the Destined, is a guy actually. He gets pulled into another world to help the princess and her bodyguard and this one other guy that they got. They're on a mission to rescue the king who has been kidnapped. Now, the princess. I named her Sarah Deschanel, and she's got a bodyguard named Samantha Darlian. She's like the head of the royal guard, and now she's basically inherited all of the armed forces of the kingdom, and that's the reason why these stories are included in Action Girls collection, is because they fight too. So. And Vampire Killer stars two recent high school grads named the title character, the Vampire Killer, is named Ashley Novak. She's from a Polish family. She was born here, and also her friend Kyoko Yoshiguchi, who comes from a Japanese family, obviously, even though she was born here. And the two of them suddenly discover that, vampires exist. And as far as they can tell, no one else seriously believes it, so they kind of have to keep it to themselves, but they have to fight these vampires whenever they show up. So, yeah, so the first two stories of that are included as well. All told, it's over 20,000 words of story for all four stories. I didn't really do any kind of advanced editing on them compared to the original, single story releases. I did fix up the first story of Destined a bit. But yeah, I figured I'm going to... as long as these stories aren't in their full collections yet, because obviously they're not finished, but I'm just going to release these groups of 4 stories in future Action Girls collections, and it's just going to go from there. I might even put in another series. I'm actually working on the sequel to Becoming a Hero. It's going to be called Awesome Girl, because that's the character's superhero name. So I might include stories from that series as well. Every time I get 4 stories done featuring girls fighting, then I'm going to come out with the new Action Girls collection. So that's that. If you want to check it out, I mean, it costs a bit less compared to buying the individual short stories, which are 99 cents each for a total of $3.96. But you can get the Action Girls collection for $2.99. I'm going to have links in the description. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords. So you can get it for your Kindle, you can get it for Nook, whatever. And if you do feel like getting it, then feel free to leave a review. In fact, I would kind of ask that if you do read the story, that you leave a review, whether it's positive or negative, just be honest. And because I would really like some reviews for my stories. And as for stories that I've got in the works now, I'm currently, well, first of all, Destin number 3 came out, last year. I'm working on Destin number 4, but it's going to require a lot of editing and rewriting of material and stuff like that. That's kind of on hold for the moment. But the third story of Destin is out. In fact, it's Halloween themed. It's called James's Halloween Party. You can get that if you want for 99 cents. I'm working on Vampire Killer number 3. That's coming along fairly well. Don't know if it'll be ready in time for Halloween, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm working on the first story of a new shared universe, because I'd actually written down a ton of different ideas for series, and some of them would be just they would be so limited in concept, like the amount of ideas that I would have for it. Like, it could just be a character, or it could just be like a really basic concept or whatever, like alien invasion, or bounty hunter, or family vacation. Just very basic, like maybe 2 or 3 word ideas. I came up with this whole list. Now, I figured if I was to do a series of each of those, that they would probably be about 5 stories in length each. But a lot of them don't even justify that. So, what I decided to do is create this new shared universe going forward. But the series that I have going now are not going to be part of that. These are all standalone. Vampire Killer is standalone. Destin is standalone. Becoming a Hero / Awesome Girl is standalone. And Blackjack Jill is standalone. For various reasons. Mostly because the concept of the series themselves means I want it to be just that concept. I don't want any other large mythos intruding in on it. So each of those stories are standalone. But going forward, I've started writing the first story in what will be a new shared universe for perhaps not all, but most of my stories going forward. I mean, I'll probably still do some standalone stuff that's going to be definitely just in its own little universe, but I'm working on creating this new expanded universe. I've got this cyberpunk series called Vanity City. I'm writing the first story of that. That's going to be standalone as well, because I came up with the idea long before I ever thought of doing this shared universe thing. It's just going to be cyberpunk, sci-fi type of stuff, and that's it. I'm working on that. Those are going to be about novel length, so around 20,000 words each. So I'm around 13% into it. I've got like 2,600 words of it done, of the first story. That's going to be a while off still. But for the shared universe thing, I might actually get the first story of that done this month. And if so, I'll post a video announcing it. I don't want to get into too many specifics of it, but it's a way for me to take all of my loose, half-baked or quarter-baked ideas and kind of put them all into this one universe together. Like, if I've got a character for like one type of story, they might start in their one story, and they might make a guest appearance down the line, or a character or a background or supporting character in one story might get her own full story later on down the line. You know, stuff like that. I've got it where it's like I've got backstory for the universe, and I've got, you know, I've got the idea of where it's gonna go, how it's gonna proceed, and what the ultimate goal is. I just don't want to reveal too much of it, but yeah, that's going on as well. I'm not a very fast-paced writer, which I guess I should work on if I want to make a living out of this. But I've got stuff going on, so more stories will be coming out. Also, I'm working on Blackjack Jill number 3. That should be out this year as well, perhaps next month. And you know, that's all I got for now. It's 10:59 a.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.